Hi, this is James Ing with Old Capital, and we are here with Christine Stevens. Hey, Christine, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. So we have our conference coming up here um, very shortly in October, and we just wanted to introduce some of the people who are going to be there. So, Christine, maybe give people a little introduction about you and about your company, and then we'll sort of take it from there.
Well, I am one of the three managing partners of Astra Residential, and we started our company, which is a property management company, third party. We started in 2017, actually, but actually started accumulating properties in 2018.
Okay.
We do a lot of the smaller properties as well as larger. We have three owners and numerous people, of course, under us.
Okay. And then what markets do you guys cover?
DFW, and we have some up in the Sherman area, and most of it's DFW right now.
DFW. Okay. And then I know this is always changing, but like roughly how many properties or sort of units do you guys manage now?
Well, we have 12 properties on board now,
Okay.
ranging from 201 units down. We are looking to grow, of course. In this market, you got your selling, selling of properties and then buying. Right now, as everybody knows, the market is a lot of it doesn't make sense, to sell on the bigger properties. Um, but we're hoping to expand.
Okay. And then maybe talk a little bit about your background before Astra or even some of the other people on your sort of core team and sort of what their experience was sort of before starting Astra, because I think that's important is
Yeah, I
understanding the
actually
people.
started in the industry like 40 something years ago. All of us have been in the industry in one form or the other. And whether it's a vendor, whether it's, property management, leasing, we've all went up that stair step, right? We've all went from the bottom up. So we know all the different facets of property management, right down to the leasing and the porters, which are all important. Um, so all of us have had experience in one form or the other.
Okay. Um, and then so what do you think? I mean, there's, when a person buys a property, they have a choice. They can self-manage, they can hire a third party. There's third party companies that are focused in DFW. There's guys who have national presence. What are some of sort of like your strengths that you think separate yourself from maybe some of the other property management companies out there?
Well, the whole purpose of starting Astra, to be honest with you, was the fact that we've all been with other property management companies and they're all good in their own ways, right? The one thing that I found, and so did my partners, is that you were a number, okay? You weren't like, this is so it's, a name. So you were always like a number, the manager at whatever property, as opposed to Janet over at whatever. So we have a really tight teamwork effort, and all of my people I know by name. Not going to say that I don't forget and call them something else every once in a while, but that's just because I'm getting old. But they do understand our employees, they can make or break anybody, whether it's the owner or the management company. So you have to look at them as a priority. And that's what Astra, that's the one thing that when we started Astra, we wanted to make sure happened. Building that synergy, we're no better than them. We all go on property and pick up trash. There's nothing that if we don't do it, what makes us think that they think we're too good to, right?
Right.
That's not the way I feel about it. All of us do. I mean, we have an awesome accounting department. We are on property at least once a week. One of us is, and showing some corporate presence.
Right. Okay. And then so you guys, all your properties that you manage are in DFW right now?
No, sir. We have
Oh,
some in Sherman
Sherman.
also.
Okay. All right. So what are you in terms of what you're seeing in today's market? Um, talk about what you're seeing from the property management side because there's always like I always have a lot of stories on the lending side, but the property management side always has more interesting stories. So, tell us about what you're seeing out there right now in the market.
Well, right now, as everybody knows, supply is way up there, and demand is I don't want to say plummeting because I don't mean that, but it has become a struggle. And a lot of people are doing rental homes and they're doing moving in with roommates to economize, right? I mean, we all know the economy right now is at a high. I'm not gonna say it's highest because that's not true, but it still has gotten up there. So trying to, especially with owners, make them understand that you have to be very careful with your market rents, right? Especially since the supply is getting, I'm seeing a lot of new build, right? So I'm not agreeing that their prices are going to make them be any better than like your B market because they're just asking too much, in my opinion, right now, especially with the way rate caps are, the way people are having to come down right now on their door price just to make sense with the interest rates. So it's kind of hurting not just the B classes, C classes, or anything like that. I think it's hurting the whole market right at this time.
Just
Is it
are
going to
you
come back
saying
up? Yeah,
are you just saying
I'm
in
sorry.
terms of the amount of concessions that they're giving on the A stuff, or they're just setting very high rents and then using concessions, or is it
Well, I'm not
um
going to name any properties, but a
yeah,
lot of the newer builds they're struggling right now
okay.
because
Just
they
in the
have
lease
to
up.
make.
Oh, just in terms of the lease up, they're
Yes,
not
sir.
leasing they thought they'd be leased up in 18 months, but it's taking longer because their rents are so high.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And that helps, I guess, the ones that are in the C and B class properties or even A minus properties that aren't brand new. But it's going to hurt the market, and it's also going to hurt some of these new property builders. I'm seeing a lot of the new properties are like struggling to get occupancy. Well, when they projected or did their pro forma,
Right.
they did it based on 2022's numbers, which we all know in 2023 totally changed.
Right.
I do think it's going to get better. I just think everybody has to be very careful of where they put their market rents at.
Okay. Any advice in today's market for, let's say, general partners out there who, they might have one property, they might have 10 properties. Any advice for them over the next, let's say, quarter or two in the Dallas market?
I think that we're going to stay stable at this point until 2025. I think you'll start seeing it soften in 2025 a little bit. And once this, as long as we don't hit a recession, right? Not knowing what the presidency is going to do or where we're going to be at that time. I think the ones right now that are in agency debt, right? They have it a little bit better than those that are on a bridge loan or some of the type of bank loan or something of that nature or private lender. No offense to Old Capital by no means, but I'm just saying your agency debt is really beneficial at this time.
Right. No. So we're a mortgage broker, so we place all those types of debt. So we
I
we
know.
work with people who are on agency, who are on bank, who are on bridge, and depending on the business plan and sort of where you bought that property, sometimes
Right.
deals don't qualify for agency. Sometimes they need to go to bank. Sometimes, so it just depends on the property. It depends on the borrower's experience and sort of their business plan. They did different things, and the Fed said one thing and then interest rates went up a lot more than they thought. So
Well, when you think
everyone's
about the bridge loans, right? I mean, in 2021, 2022, that was a big thing.
right,
Interest only for 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be. And I think a lot of people are hurting now that they have those
right,
because the rate caps are they're horrible at this time.
yeah.
Um, but it does depend on how they went into it.
So is that impacting on your side? Like when an owner has a bridge loan and they have to spend all this money on rate caps, is it impacting like operations because there's not enough sort of cash at the property level or
Well, I
not
mean,
yet?
it does hurt everybody.
Mhm.
I think of my owners as team members, right?
Right.
We're partnerships. I don't look at it any other way. If they're successful, then I'm successful. If they're not, or vice versa. And that's where the partnership comes in. It's
Right.
real important to me that I know my owners and I know what their goals are.
Right. Okay.
I would choose not to take on a property if I don't think it's going to benefit the owner.
Okay. All right. What is the best way for people to reach out to you if they have any questions about maybe their property or whether it's a new acquisition or an existing deal? What's the best way for people to reach out to you?
Well, I would invite them to look at our Astra Residential website and just to get a feel of what our values are and of course the properties and references that we do have on there. They also can call me or email me at cstevens@astraresidential.com, or my phone number, of course, is 214-354-0050. And I always answer my phone.
All right. Any final parting words for us, Christine?
I'm excited to be a sponsor for Old Capital this year. I really am. And we thought about it last year, but it happened so fast that we didn't get time to prepare. And so this year we're going to be 100% prepared. I just look forward to meeting, even some of the newer owners that are out there that are trying to get into the market.
Right. Well, we appreciate you coming on to spend some time with us today. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to reach out to Christine about Astra Residential. So thanks a lot, Christine.
Thank you, James. You have a great day.
All right, you too.